Paul says, imitate me as I imitate Christ. You have a form or you have a pattern of bringing people to God. So any priesthood that makes you rebel against God is not of God. So the proper priesthood is to teach you the fear of God. So any form of priesthood that tolerates evil against God, you are in a priesthood that does not rebuke sin, that does not tell you wrong is wrong, and you are seated there. That is not godly priesthood. Godly priesthood is a priesthood that brings people to God. That's why God is saying, I bore you on eagle's wings, and I brought you to myself. If you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant. Now God is talking about them obeying the voice and the what? Covenant. Then you shall be a special treasure to me above all the people, for all the earth is mine. So God is saying you shall be a special treasure for me because all the earth is what? Mine. And look at this, verse 6. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. A kingdom of priests, what do we call royal priesthood, and a holy nation. These are the ones which you shall speak to the children of Israel. So this is the plan of God, and that is why he had to pay a lot of price to bring the people to himself. Now, I want you to understand this. If you have no knowledge of God, you will always stay away from God. What are the purpose of the priests? Are to feed you with knowledge. Jeremiah 3, verse 15. Give you shepherds. Shepherds are what? Priests. According to my heart. Who will feed you with what? Knowledge and understanding. So priests are supposed to feed people with knowledge and understanding. You are given knowledge and understanding, and then you multiply. That is the power of priestly office. Give you knowledge and understanding. So when you are fed with knowledge and understanding, then it shall come to pass, then you are multiplied and increased in the land those days. So multiplication, growth, power that you carry is according to the priestly knowledge that you are being given by priests. Now, if there will not be a priest, there will not be a law, and there will not be good in the land. That is why I think in the 2nd Chronicles chapter 15, King Asa is told there was trouble in the land. Between those who entered and those who came out, there was trouble. There was no peace. Because there was no teaching priests. And therefore, what happened? People were far away from God. So when we don't have teaching priests to give people knowledge about the law of God, there shall not be covenant operation in the land. People will operate lives away from the covenant. And when they operate life away from covenant, what will happen? There will be trouble in the land. There will be trouble in families. There will be trouble in cities. Because there is no peace to anyone who enters and anyone who leaves. So when there is trouble in those times, when there is no teaching prophets, there is no peace. There's no prosperity. So trouble and challenges in life, they are caused by people not aligning themselves with the law of God. Because in some areas, there is no teaching priests. I think it's Jeremiah that one. That God says, he will satiate the heart of his priests with fatness. And then the people shall be satisfied with his goodness. So you see, when the priests are satiated, they are made fat from their hearts. So they are full of godly things. They are full of knowledge. What will happen? The people will begin to be satisfied with the abundance of the goodness of the Lord. When the hearts of the priests are satiated, when God has made them fat, when he has given them information, when he has given them knowledge, they will walk in that power. They will walk in that understanding. And people will also rejoice, and they are satisfied with the goodness of the Lord, because the priests play a very important role. If you are hearing me, say amen. Now listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. According to Daniel chapter 11, verse 32, the Bible says, those who know their God, they shall become strong. Understand that? And they shall do exploits. I want you to understand that the only secure source of strength and power is the knowledge of God. The only secure and source of strength and power is in the knowledge of God. The only secure source of strength and the knowledge of and the power is the knowledge of God. So when you know, you become powerful. When you know, you become powerful. My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. And what was the problem even that time where the people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge? As the priests increased, the priests did not teach people knowledge because they had rejected the law. So he said, as the priest increases, then the people sinned against me. We can go to Hosea. In order for you to remain in that office, you must command knowledge. You must command knowledge. And if there is no knowledge, then it means because you have rejected knowledge, I will also reject you from being priest for me, because you have forgotten the law of your God. I will also forget your children. So understand this. When now you don't have that knowledge, you are rejected. You are rejected as a priest. And look at why God is complaining now. Why knowledge is lacking, and why they have been rejected together with their children. The more they increase, the more they sinned against me. I will change their glory into shame. So the more priests increases, the more they increase in number, the more people sin. The more churches are being opened, more of them, the more people are entering into sins. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. The more pastors increase, the more people sin. We need to understand this. When pastors become many, sinners must become less. When churches become many, bars should become less. That's how it should be. But now, churches are becoming so many. Bars are becoming so many. Pastors are becoming too many. Sinners are becoming too many. Something is wrong. What was the work of priests? To eliminate sinners. So if there are so many cats in your house and so many rats at the same time, then something is not working. You have so many cats and you have so many rats. When you see the number of rats have increased, you increase the number of cats. What will happen to the number of rats? They must increase. Something is wrong with our priesthood. That is why pastors are many, churches are many, sinners are increasing. Sinners are supposed to become less. I don't know if I'm communicating to anybody here. So, the only source of strength and power is the knowledge of God. If you lack that knowledge, you don't go where you want to go. Some people are not after seeking the knowledge of God. Our priests are not giving people the knowledge of God. They are giving people other things, which is not the knowledge of God. You are supposed to feed the flock with the knowledge of God. And the problem is this. Why are they not feeding God, people of God, with the knowledge of God? Jeremiah 3:15 gives us the answer. He says, I will bring to you priests who are called according to my heart. So the problem is many are called, but they are not called according to the heart of God. So we are very few priests who are according to the heart of God. We are so many priests who are not according to the heart of God. Therefore, those who are not in accordance to the heart of God, they cannot feed the people of God with knowledge and understanding. So what will happen? The people will not conquer. Now, I want you to understand, anything that is not rooted in the knowledge of God will be swept away by the flood of evil. Anything, may it be a marriage, may it be a government, may it be a ministry, that is not instituted or founded or rooted in the knowledge of God shall be swept away by the flood of evil. Shall be swept away by the flood of evil. So for something to stand, it must be built on the knowledge of God. That's why even the church itself, Jesus built it on knowledge. That is on revelation knowledge. When Peter received the revelation that he is the Christ, he said, I will build my church on this rock, and the gate of hell shall not prevail. So the true church, a true believer is the one who is built in the foundation of revelation. If you're not built on foundation of revelation knowledge, the knowledge of God, you'll not stand. Anything that is not founded in the knowledge of God, may it be family, may it be government, may it be factory, may it be company, may it be anything you know on earth, it shall be swept by the flood of evil. And anything, even this time of the COVID-19, anything that was not built in the plan of God shall be swept by the flood of evil. If you don't want to be swept by the flood of evil, you are supposed to seek the knowledge of God. You are supposed to seek the knowledge of God. Know you are God. And you are supposed to align yourself with the correct priesthood that can feed you with knowledge and understanding. If you don't have that knowledge and understanding, you will not be stepping into the will of God. You will not see establishment in the life that you desired to live. Now, we see God now speaking to the children of Israel according to in Exodus 19. And I want you to understand, God now demonstrates his desire and he speaks what he really wanted, the reason why he carried them on his wings or on the eagle's wing. Why did he carry them? There are things he demonstrated that he wanted with them. That is why he carried them. Number one, he wanted them to remain a royal priesthood. He wanted them to be royal priesthood unto him. He wanted them to have personal relationship with him. Maintain that. That's why he needed loyalty to the covenant. That they become personal. They have personal relationship. So any believer who is powerful must have a personal relationship with God. If you don't have personal relationship with God, then you are not powerful and you are forfeiting even the will of God. So you want that personal relationship with you. Now, this is given by your ability to follow covenant demands and covenant responsibilities. That's why God did not just leave you empty to determine anything you want to become or to be anything you want to become. He gave you covenant. He said, if you shall keep it. This is to show you how you maintain this relationship and how you walk with him on daily basis and become what he wanted you to become. So the purpose of redemption is to bring people to closer to God, to himself. That's why he redeemed them. So that they can be heirs to himself. And for them to maintain this relationship, they are expected to hear his voice and obey it. You hear the voice and obey. The problem with Levitical priesthood, it does not have what we call loyalty. So it will not hear the voice. It will not obey. It will not teach the voice. It will not obey. Aaron, people come, they tell him, Moses has stayed. Make us a calf. He does not say no. He does not say no. He goes ahead and does that. There are some churches, they are led by the way members want. They vote on how to be led. They vote on who to become their pastor. They vote. All those things. Democracy is worried. And the things of God, I don't want to go that direction. There's no democracy. But let's take them to the kingdom. I will come visit that area one day, but not today. So, you determine, not God. You can complain anytime. You cannot allow God to have his way. There is no voice. You don't hear the voice of God. And that's a problem. That's the problem of many people who call themselves believers.